Elon Musk unveils plans for next version of Starship. Elon Musk dropped some exciting news on X, formerly known as Twitter. He's all hyped up about the upcoming Starship version and spilled the beans while answering a user's question. The Starship is designed to take loads of folks on tons of trips, and Elon is all about making it crazy reliable. He's aiming for 33 engines on the Super Heavy booster, more than the Soviet N-1 first stage, which had 30. Talk about pushing the limits, right? Before we dive deeper, quickly subscribe to our channel and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. The buzz around the new version started when Musk shared a snapshot of the starships at the starbase, captioned "The Last of V1," which piqued everyone's interest. Now let's rewind to 2016, when Musk first unveiled the concept, calling it the Interplanetary Transport System, a cool combo of a large spacecraft and a reusable rocket. The rocket would launch the spacecraft into Earth orbit and then come back down to Earth for vertical propulsive landing. He also referred to this system as the Big Falcon rocket, although now it's more simply called Starship. The spaceship, meanwhile, would make its way from Earth orbit to Mars, the Moon, or any other desired destination. The system is now called Starship, and the huge rocket is now called Super Heavy. Originally, SpaceX planned to build the Starship vehicle out of carbon fiber, but in January 2019, Musk opted for stainless steel. Though it's a bit heavier, it's budget-friendly and handles heat like a champ. Musk even declared this move as the project's smartest decision. Also in May 2019, Musk dropped the bomb that they're going with 6 Raptors on the Starship instead of 7. A few months later, in a Twitter disclosure, he spilled that Super Heavy, the powerhouse rocket, is stepping up to 33 Raptors instead of the initial 31. In 2020, SpaceX introduced the Starship version 1 prototype to the public, marking an important moment in their ambitious space exploration attempts. Even though several Starship prototypes had already existed, the version 1 prototype was the first one specifically designed with an orbital test flight in mind. The journey, however, was not without its ups and downs. The initial tests faced setbacks, especially in April, with a series of failed attempts. Fast forward to the IFT-2 mission in November 18th, and things seemed to take a turn for the better. The rocket's liftoff was smooth, avoiding the debris issues faced in the previous April launch. SpaceX brought out several technical feats in their upgrade, including the successful functioning of all 33 Raptor engines, a huge improvement from the earlier test. During this mission, Starship successfully separated from the Super Heavy booster, a huge success compared to the failure in April. SpaceX officials stressed the significance, stating it was the first time this technique had been completed in a vehicle of this size. However, issues persisted. In the second flight test, the Super Heavy booster exploded over the Gulf of Mexico instead of executing a controlled landing. Towards the end of the second stage burn, an unknown issue prompted the Starship spacecraft's automated termination system, resulting in its explosion. Despite losing contact with the rocket, the self-destruct system worked correctly, an improvement from the delay experienced in the April flight. Despite the setbacks, there were strides forward. The vehicle achieved an altitude of approximately 150 kilometers, marking it as the first Starship to reach outer space and nearly completing its full-duration burn, showcasing SpaceX's commitment to pushing the boundaries of space exploration. So the rocket's grand 90-minute global journey didn't go as planned, but experts in the space industry saw it as a big step forward. Laura Forshik, a space industry consultant based in Atlanta, praised the flight as a fantastic partial success and focused on its accomplishment of big milestones. Even NASA, SpaceX's major customer, expressed satisfaction, with NASA Chief Bill Nelson applauding the results on social media. Following the launch, SpaceX officials recognized the short duration of the rocket's journey, but stressed the valuable insights gained. They showed the importance of learning from such tests to improve the reliability of Starship as part of SpaceX's grand vision for making life multiplanetary. But things got really serious after the explosion of the Starship when the US Federal Aviation Administration had to step in for an accident investigation to ensure there were no environmental or safety concerns arising from the launch and explosion. However, the FAA eventually stated that no injuries or property damage occurred. Reflecting on the investigation after the April test, which took almost 5 months, the Federal Aviation Administration listed 63 issues for SpaceX to address before allowing Starship to fly again. This included redesigning hardware, strengthening the launch pad, and enhancing safety systems. The FAA's investigation extended to environmental aspects, requiring a review by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to assess partial impacts on endangered species in the launch area, such as birds and sea turtles. The Federal Aviation Administration eventually granted the launch license for the second Starship flight just days before the November 18th launch. Looking ahead, the Federal Aviation Administration implied that SpaceX's application for a new launch license would involve a thorough examination of environmental considerations. This includes assessing the power of a new water-cooled flame detector system designed to limit debris and noise pollution without releasing dirty water. Elon Musk, in a post on X, shared optimism about the launch pad's condition, stressing that no repair was needed for the water-cooled steel plate for the next launch and provided photos as evidence. In this recent SpaceX mission, they pulled off something called hot stage separation, a method also used by Russian Soyuz rockets. Imagine the booster throttling down its engines, and just before breaking away, the upper stage kicks in its engines. This gives the upper stage an extra push, a tad more payload capacity, and makes the whole stage separation less tricky. Now here's the trick. The upper stage's exhaust needs to escape while it's still attached to the booster, and they've got to be careful not to fry the booster with Starship's engine fire. SpaceX confirmed on its website that Starship aced hot staging, with the upper stage's 6 Raptor engines firing right before the disconnect. What's interesting is how SpaceX does things differently from NASA, as pointed out by Laura Forshik. While NASA meticulously tests every component before launching its Space Launch System and Orion spacecraft, SpaceX takes a bolder approach. They learn by launching repeatedly, aiming to improve with each go. It's a contrast in development styles, with SpaceX opting for a faster and more cost-effective route. Phil Metzger, a planetary scientist at the University of Central Florida, backs this up, showing that SpaceX's method, though sometimes criticized, has proven to be cheaper and quicker in the long run. SpaceX provided specifics of the changes that were made to the company's newest Starship model in comparison to its previous iteration. Despite having only 2 integrated test flights for Starship, SpaceX is already diving into a major fix for the second stage vehicle. Elon Musk spilled the beans on this revamp, revealing plans for Starship version 2. In his snapshots shared on X, Musk showcased 4 upper stages of Starship standing tall at SpaceX's Space Center in Texas, dubbing them the last of V1. While specific details about version 2 weren't laid out, SpaceX hinted at potential changes. Musk not only teased Starship V2, but also called attention to the development of the Raptor 3 engine, the next-gen powerhouse. He claimed it would boast higher specific impulse, generate 20% more thrust than Raptor 2, and be so reliable that it wouldn't need a heat shield, reducing overall mass. Starship V2 might flaunt 9 Raptor engines, a shift SpaceX is long-eyed. 3 engines would be optimized for atmospheric use, while 6 would tackle the vacuum of space, a tweak from the current 3 of each. More engines, more payload capacity, simple math. To top it off, SpaceX is considering upping the fuel game by reshaping fuel tanks and potentially extending the spacecraft's height by 16 to 33 feet, which also equates to 5 to 10 meters as per payload. This move aims to improve fuel capacity and extend the spacecraft's mission range. If you're expecting Starship version 2 to bring a radical transformation, I hate to break it to you, it's more of an evolution than a revolution. Elon Musk clarified that the changes in the pipeline are indeed important, but fall on the tricky side of the spectrum. As mentioned before, the upgraded versions of Starship would pack more fuel, trim down on dry mass, and level up the overall reliability. To avoid any mix-ups, this facelift is exclusively for the Starship upper stage, not its Super Heavy booster counterpart. As SpaceX preps for launches, the game plan involves sticking with Starship version 1 until its upgraded version takes center stage. Currently, the spacecraft labeled 28, 29, 30, and 32 are in the wings, prepping for upcoming test flights, though it's still up in the air whether all 4 will join the cosmic party. In terms of timelines, SpaceX seems to be considering the early months of 2024 for the 3rd test flight, as hinted in their Federal Communications Commission filing. Musk, always the forward thinker, also dropped a note on X that the Starship flight hardware is prepared and ready, set to take flight in a mere 3 to 4 weeks. The ambitious goal, once again, involves flying around the globe, re-entering the atmosphere, and gracefully splashing down near Hawaii. What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more space exploration. Thanks for watching.